Hi there, I'm Mike Garrod, and today I'm going out on the Sinnis Trackstar, which is quite a small bike. Trackstar was developed by Sinnis in conjunction with the Chinchi factory in China, so no one else has got one of these. The engine is the same as the Cafe and the Retro Star 125 and the Scrambler, which we all know are fantastic engines. But the Trackstar has had some excellent reviews in its time. It's quite windy today actually. It's had some excellent reviews in its time. A couple of bloggers that have used it and said that they've got, well, proved that they've got, 40 to 50,000 miles on the clock with zero engine failure, which is always good to know. It's quite a unique bike. It's a retro sort of styled enthusiast bike. It's God, it's windy. It basically it's quite small. I mean, I'm 6'3", and I don't have a problem riding it, but I can feel that it's small. I would recommend this for anyone sort of, I would say 5'11", under 5'11 and under. It's perfect. It's got lots of poke. Yeah, it rides well. It's got quite a nice seating position. Your back's up straight, your knees are in line, and your arms don't feel tired at all when you ride it. I have ridden a couple of these before, and what can I say? I do like them. They're just a bit small for me, but that is the only downside. A lot of people, I'll tell you, this is one of the, I'd say if not the second, maybe the third bike, that when you pull up at a bike meet on one of these, everybody starts asking you questions. What is it? Where does it come from? It looks, sort of Steve McQueen-ish. I think there's an event called, well, I know there's an event called Dirtquake in the UK. Basically a field full of mud, big circle, and you just cane it around there, and there's a couple of guys that use Trackstars for that. Obviously I'm not condoning that for your warranty, but it's that sort of bike, it's that sort of, Trackstar. Name goes well with it, really. But yeah, it was developed with the Chinchi factory, and it was actually developed by Sinnis a couple of years ago. And we sell a limited number of these every year. They're never going to be a big selling bike for Sinnis simply because of the style. The big selling bikes for Sinnis are things like the Apache, the Max, the SP. This, because it's more sort of retro track style, it doesn't sell as much, so we don't bring in as many. So it makes them slightly harder to get sometimes, which adds to the exclusivity, I suppose, if you've got one. But this year we've brought in more than ever, and they have been selling like hotcakes. But this year we've had, as Sinnis, we've had a really good year, our best year to date. And we're getting noticed at Sinnis for the things we want to get noticed for, which is better quality, far better customer service than the competition, and generally the fact that we're all bikers, which I have mentioned before on my videos. But I think that's the reason why you want to get noticed, is sorting problems out for people, because you actually are one of those people, rather than just a guy behind a desk, doesn't really care what he sells. We like to get all up in it. So yeah, so far it's a lovely little bike. Horses. So this is a quaint little village just outside Brighton. The only reason why I've come this way is because I have just ridden here along the seafront and it's really windy, so the microphone might be a bit rubbish, but I shall try it out, and if it's really bad I shall just edit out the seafront bit, because that's where I'm heading now. Yeah, this is an enjoyable ride. I mean, it keeps up with the traffic nicely. And again, it's another one of those bikes that does what it says on the tin. We don't get Trackstar problems because it's a bike. I mean, a lot of people know that there's a lot of Chinese clones of clones, and bikes are copied from other bikes. The Sinnis Patchy is obviously the original bike from the Chinchi factory. The others are clones of that from different factories. This is completely developed by Sinnis and Chinchi, so there ain't any clones of this. And one thing I did notice when I was riding this a minute ago is I was going through some twisty lanes and I noticed it's incredibly nimble. It might be because of its size, well, it's got to be because of its size, but it feels like it does stick to the road. Nodding motorcyclist. I'll tell you what, I love it. Why don't people nod anymore? I went through Europe and everybody nods, waves, moves their legs about in the air when they overtake you, things like that. It's great. You come back to Brighton and I would say a good 75% of the people don't even want to acknowledge that you exist or you've got a motorcycle. It's so sad. We've got all that freedom at our fingertips and we don't want to acknowledge others that want to live that same dream. I was talking to someone the other day and they said, oh, I don't nod at scooters because scooter riders are idiots, and I just thought that's fantastic. And then later on in the conversation I said to him, what was your first bike? Honda Vision scooter. I was like, fantastic. So if everybody had left you out at the beginning and said you're an idiot, I'm sure you'd be really chuffed with the motorcycling industry. But yeah, this is lovely to ride in the corners. Wow. Yeah, I don't get it. Nodding. Everybody should do it. What's the problem? It's a nod of your head. A weird thing is that when you nod and someone doesn't, because I pretty much nod at everyone, when you nod and someone doesn't, you feel like such an idiot. Which is ridiculous because there's only you in your helmet. But it won't stop me doing it. I do think all motorcyclists are one big community, and I like that fact. You know, it drew me into motorcycling in the first place when I was 16. And there's a lot of really good sort of information that other people hold as well. I really like the groups on Facebook and things like that. People want to share their information with you that's, you know, it could help you with either your riding skills or, you know, maintenance with your bike, and meetups and places to go for rides. You know, riding's always more fun when there's more people with you. So anyway, I took this bike from the shop this morning with 3 kilometres on it, 2 kilometres, 2.8 kilometres, and I said, have the workshop put any fuel in it? To which the answer was, probably not. So one of the guys, one of our team that works in the shop, he said to me, "You'll never get to Seaford on the amount of fuel that's in that bike." To which I said, "I'm going to get to Seaford on the amount of fuel that's in that bike." Sloshed it about and thought, you know what, this is going to be close. And I said, and I bet I won't even hit reserve. So I'm having a bit of a challenge, but Seaford is actually only 3 miles away and I haven't hit reserve. So I think that's pretty damn good. That's the other thing I like about small CC scooters is and bikes, is they just go on, you know. They're such good value for money, running wise, and that goes across the board, whether it's a Yamaha or a Honda or a Sinnis or you know, anything. 125 or a 50, you're getting the cheap tax. Okay, your insurance when you first start out is a bit expensive, but as you get older it becomes so cheap, depending on your circumstances obviously. As you get older and more experienced. And then you've got the fuel consumption, which is, you know, 100 miles to the gallon. You can literally put £5 worth of fuel in and go for a 100-mile ride for the day. Come back and think, yeah, you know what, I've had a really good day and it's cost me £5. That is if you're a motorcyclist like me who likes motorcycles for fun. Even if you're a commuter who doesn't really like motorcycles for fun, but out of necessity has a scooter or a bike. The amount of money you save on fuel from a car is outrageous. From a bus, I mean, the buses in Brighton, I don't know whether they're cheap or not really, but from where I live, which is literally just outside the centre of Brighton, to the seafront in Brighton, I have to buy an all-day pass because it's not financially viable to buy a one-off ticket. That all-day pass is £4.80, so that's £4.80 to go to the seafront and back. Whereas obviously if I go on my bike I can park free, and it's going to cost me what to do 5 miles, probably about 60p. It's amazing, I love it. Plus the fact when you get off the bus you've got to then get back to the bus at some point, whereas on a bike you just park it up, go on to the next place, park it up. It's great. But anyway, I'll stop rambling. I've just reached Seaford. I must apologise for the wind if it's really strong. Also my breathing on the last 2 videos. The microphone that we've got, or I've got set up on this GoPro, is overkill to say the least. It was really expensive and it was done for like video production quality, and I thought I'll use that on the GoPro. Oh my god, it picks up everything. So I might sound like Darth Vader. It's because the microphone isn't that far away from my mouth, because there isn't a lot of room in this helmet, and I've got a beard and it's probably making me sound like some sort of evil villain. Is that a Cobb? Oh, it's a Suzuki. What I wanted to really do in one of my videos was go right to the top of those white cliffs, right on the edge of the cliff. I don't know if you've ever seen the film Quadrophenia, but if you haven't, it's a kind of classic scooter mod versus rocker movie, and at the very end he chucks his bike off that cliff up there, the exact cliff. So yeah, it'd be quite cool to get one of our bikes up there, one of our retro bikes. I might have to do that in the late evening when no one's watching. But yeah, this is a pleasure to ride. Standing in the middle of the road. People get funny when they get to the seaside, it's like they lose all their brains. Oh, ice cream man, look at that. Going in for the kill. Well, I got my ice cream. That's a cool Jeep. I might have to do another video on this bike involving twisty B roads, because when you bank it, it does feel really, really good in the corners. Oh, just so you know as well, on the 13th of September, if you're in the area, or even if you're not, might be a long way for you to come on a bike, but grab the car. Come down to Brighton for the Brighton Burn Up on the seafront. It's run by the Ace Cafe. Sinnis have got a stand there. Come and say hello. We'll get you a coffee. Yeah, have a chat. Normally gets about 220,000 people turn up on the day. There's all sorts to see and do. Bring your wallet because there's loads to buy as well, loads of clothing and stuff like that on different stalls. They have bands on and things. It's a really good day out, but well worth coming to, and it's on Sunday the 13th of September. Really good fun. Anyway, this has been Mike Garrod. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll get better at this, and I'll see you later.